A while ago, I stumbled upon a very strange channel while browsing through YouTube. They seem to make strange animations of SpongeBob, mostly using audio from the original show, but with some small tweaks. Me and the friend I was on call with started laughing at it at the time, calling it the scariest thing ever as a joke, because it wasn't. And then I just gave them a subscription because, you know, it never hurts to do it. It's just one button. But in turn, that recommended me all their videos, both new and the old ones. And I just decided to click on some of them. I was curious. But this was very funny because I'd get home from school, and then I would get a video recommended. I was like, oh, new video from this guy called Because. I decided to watch more of these videos to just see if there was anything more to them, and then suddenly a story started forming. I looked into the channel's posts, and I found some more stuff. And seeing as this person only had a measly 700 subscribers at the time of recording this, I've decided to document every source of information on them currently online, which is just their channel. I don't know why I wrote that in the script. So ladies and gentlemen, theys and gays, welcome to... Yeah, you know what, we're just gonna call this guy Joke. But Joke started their channel as a standard shitpost, or maybe a bit on the spooky side of that. Their videos were mainly clips from the show that are just cut together. The funny thing about these videos is that you can see the progression of effort put into them go from 2% to 4% by the end. This is not an insult, this is legitimately how this went. Anyway, there's not too much to these videos besides a little chuckle, and you're better off playing Wario Land or something weird. And the posts from the beginning? Yeah, they're the same way as well. After these baby steps, Joke posted their first few fully fledged 2D animations. These videos are a sort of stepping stone into the stuff that most of this guy's viewers know them for, as these videos were much more rudimentary and they were still experimenting with the more unsettling formula that they like to use. I like to think that every time a little PNG video shows up, the next few animations are a higher quality than that. This is also the first time that they experiment with the concept of a multi-video storyline, that being in 2 videos that I will not pronounce. This duo of horror power shows that our friend SpongeBob was venturing into an evil dungeon, and then got pursued by evil SpongeBob. This might also possibly be the first instance of a 3D model in the video, but the quality here isn't giving me any hints. If we do want a concrete answer, then the first 3D model is used in this one. These 2D animations are a good introduction to the type of content that Joke will make in the future, especially near the end of their current catalog. There are a lot more misses than hits here, but the structure of setup with no huge payout is there. And I feel like so much horror media these days just ends with a cheap little jump scare, but these videos are just unsettling, unless they do decide to give you a jump scare. This only works well within the context of what Joke posts, because as the Joker said, nobody panics if things go according to plan. Consistency is key, but breaking consistency can prove especially useful in the horror scene. Does this mean that Joke is a good writer? Up to you. Me and many others discovered Joke through their 3D animations. Well, I say many others like this guy has an audience of their own anyway. Joke's 3D animations are definitely the most refined content on this channel, and both the traditional and non-traditional horror aspects are definitely turned up a notch with them. Overall, this is the best of what Joke has to offer in their 3 genres of YouTube video, and the stuff that I personally find to be the most interesting while editing. Okay, onto the analysis. The first few 3D animations are very close to the 2D videos, but with one major difference. These are now fully dubbed clips from the show. I wonder how much easier this was to make. Anyway, alongside these show clips dubbed in the empty black void, there are now full models of Patrick, Squidward, a Krabby Patty, Plankton, Mr. Krabs, Sandy, and SpongeBob. Okay, so SpongeBob has 2 models, and his second one seems to be a little bit different from the other characters. Honestly, considering the fact that this is what the old version looked like, it's on brand. Well, actually, everyone except Sandy gets an quote-unquote awesome model at some point in time, and the story's even centered around these models sometimes, which I think is pretty neat. Speaking of the story, there seems to be a bit more continuity here than there was before, and that revolves around the normal characters, the awesome characters, and the first original character in the series, who I think is named CNET. my little personal interpretation of what's going on is that there are normal versions of the characters who are slowly being replaced by the awesome versions of the characters through various means. I don't exactly know if the awesome characters have malicious intent or if they hate CNUP, but they're related in some way for sure. Oh, actually, newsflash. Awesome Patrick has the answer for us. Joke has gone largely inactive to this day, with a sort of dry spell beginning after the video called Mattress was posted. Only 3 videos have been released since then, with one of them being a normal 3D animation with no interesting quirks, but the other 2 are very interesting. One of them is a 2D animation of all things, where Plankton dives into SpongeBob's head and then gets vaporized by evil SpongeBob. The most recent video is titled Doodle, and yeah, I'm just not even gonna bother trying to explain what that thing is or why it's there. Small realization that in the video called Firmly, we get a view at all the awesome characters from above. I don't know if this confirms that the eyeball creature has been canon since the beginning, but I do think that this is the intent. In fairness, this could be attributed to an S-tier shitpost. One giant conglomerate S-tier shitpost. The point is, this channel caught my attention so much that I chose to actually spend time making a video like this to even cover it. I like the fresh approach that this person takes in making horror content. It's to the point where I'm second guessing the fact that this is intended to be horror at all. But maybe that makes it great. The point is that this guy's having a ton of fun doing this for sure, because all this work for almost 700 subscribers must require some element other than just numbers alone. Maybe we all need to learn a little more on how to be JEOAKGPAJGPNE. Or maybe not.